Your AI agent just generated Python code for you. It looks great, it compiles, and it does exactly what you asked. But running AI-generated code on your machine without protections is like letting a stranger rummage through your entire computer. Every file, every password, every network connection is exposed. In this tutorial, I will show you how Simon Willison built a production-ready Python sandbox using MicroPython compiled to WebAssembly. This approach lets you run arbitrary Python code safely, with memory limits, file restrictions, and full network control. By the end, you will understand how to implement this in your own projects and why it matters for the future of AI agent development. Simon Willison created Datasette, an open-source tool for exploring and publishing data. It supports plugins, which is fantastic for extensibility, but there is a major drawback. Every plugin runs with full privileges inside the application. A buggy plugin could accidentally delete your data. A malicious one could read your SSH keys, upload your private files, or install malware. As AI code generation becomes mainstream, this problem becomes critical. People paste AI-generated code directly into production. They run it without review. They trust the output of a language model that sometimes hallucinates API calls or security practices. We urgently need safe execution environments, and WebAssembly provides exactly that. A proper code sandbox needs to meet 6 specific requirements. First, dependencies must install cleanly from PyPI, including binary wheels, without the user having to jump through hoops. Second, infinite loops and memory bombs must be stopped cold. If someone writes while true:\s+ equals longer string, the sandbox must prevent that from crashing your application or your user's machine. Third, file access must be strictly controlled, either fully blocked or explicitly permitted. Fourth, network access must go through a controlled layer you define. Fifth, the sandbox must support host functions so code can actually do useful things like querying your database through safe APIs. And sixth, it must be robust, supported, and clearly documented. Web browsers operate in the most hostile environment imaginable when it comes to malicious code. Their job is to download and execute untrusted code from the internet on almost every page load. Given this environment, browser engines should be excellent sandbox candidates. And WebAssembly specifically was designed from the ground up to support memory isolation, resource limits, and safe execution. It has been tested in browsers for nearly a decade across billions of page loads. The wasm Python library brings WebAssembly to server-side Python and is actively maintained with binary wheels available for all major platforms. This is not an experimental technology. It is production infrastructure. MicroPython is a lean and efficient implementation of Python 3 that includes a small subset of the standard library. It is designed to run in constrained environments like microcontrollers, sensors, and embedded systems. WebAssembly is definitely a constrained environment, which makes MicroPython a perfect fit. Simon Willison used GPT 5.5 to research the approach. The AI turned up a pull request by developer Yamamoto Takahashi that added experimental WASI support for the Unix port of MicroPython. From there, the proof of concept came together quickly. You compile MicroPython with WASI support, load the resulting WebAssembly binary with wasm, and then you have a full Python interpreter that cannot touch anything outside its sandbox. Here is how the full architecture works. Your Python code gets sent to a MicroPython interpreter that has been compiled to a WebAssembly binary. That binary runs inside the wasm runtime environment, which enforces strict memory limits. Any attempt to access files, make network calls, or allocate too much memory is blocked by the runtime. The only way the sandbox code can interact with the outside world is through host functions that you explicitly define and expose. This means you can give your sandboxed code access to a specific database query or a specific file path, and absolutely nothing else. The code literally cannot access anything outside its sandboxed memory space. The trickiest piece to solve was persistent interpreter state. The WebAssembly build of MicroPython exposes a single entry point that starts the interpreter, runs your code, and then exits. Every subsequent call starts fresh, so variables and functions defined in a previous call are lost. This works fine for one-off scripts, but for real applications you need state to persist across calls. The solution is surprisingly elegant. A background thread manages request and reply queues. Inside the WebAssembly sandbox, MicroPython blocks waiting for the next piece of code to execute. Your host Python sends code through the request queue, MicroPython runs it, and sends the result back through the reply queue. This keeps the interpreter alive and stateful across multiple calls. The developer API is surprisingly simple. From micropython_wasm, import micropython session. Create a new session object. Then call session.run with your Python code as a string. Each call maintains state from the previous one, so you can define a variable in one call and reference it in the next. Under the hood, this spins up a thread with request and reply queues, loads the MicroPython WASM binary using wasmtime, and handles all the message passing. The complexity of WebAssembly compilation and queue management is completely hidden from a developer. This is exactly the kind of clean API that makes security accessible instead of intimidating. Let me show you state persistence in action with a concrete example. First call, we define x equals 10 and print it. The output is 10. Second call, we increment x by 5 and print it. The output is 15, meaning the session remembered our variable. Third call, we multiply x by 2 and print it. The output is 30. This natural sequential behavior is what makes the sandbox usable for real applications. You can define a helper function once and call it across hundreds of data records. You can load configuration once and reference it across multiple script executions. This persistent state is the feature that transforms this from a toy into a production tool. Let me walk through the practical applications because there are several important ones. First, Dataset enrichments can use the sandbox to run user-provided Python code that transforms database values without any security risk. Second, AI agents can generate and execute code without compromising your system. This is the killer use case. Third, you can run scheduled scripts that fetch JSON from ARPAS and update your database through controlled host functions. Fourth, hosted applications can let users contribute custom logic without security reviews. And fifth, AI code generation benchmarks and evaluation suites can test model outputs in isolated environments, measuring correctness without risking the evaluation infrastructure. There are important limitations you need to understand before using this in production. First, MicroPython only includes a subset of the Python standard library. Libraries like pandas, numpy, and requests do not exist inside the sandbox. Second, binary extension modules compiled for CPython will not work because they target native machine code, not WebAssembly. Third, performance is noticeably slower than native CPython because of the WebAssembly translation layer. Fourth, threading inside the sandbox is limited since MicroPython has different threading semantics than CPython. And fifth, Python syntax features from version 3.12 and beyond may not be fully supported. These limitations matter, but for AI-generated scripts and data transformations, they're usually acceptable trade-offs. Simon Willison himself calls this a vibe-coded prototype. What that means is the WebAssembly sandboxing concept itself is proven and robust. It has been tested in browsers for nearly a decade. But this specific implementation, the MicroPython session wrapper, needs more hardening before it handles mission-critical workloads. Memory limits are enforced by wasmtime, which is solid. But tighter CPU enforcement needs more work. The host function API needs formal documentation and security auditing. Still, the foundation is rock solid, and it solves a genuine problem that affects every AI developer and every plugin ecosystem today. The important thing is that the architecture is correct. The details can be hardened over time. Here is how you can get started today. If the micropython-wasm library is published on PyPI, you can just pip install it and you are ready to go. If not, you clone the MicroPython repository, enable WASI support during compilation, and produce the WebAssembly binary. Then use the wasmtime Python library to load that binary. Create a MicroPython session using a context manager for clean resource handling. Expose specific host functions for any input and output your code requires. Finally, configure wasmtime to enforce memory limits and CPU time budgets. The entire process takes about an hour for a first setup, and once it is working, the safety guarantees are comprehensive and automatic. This matters deeply for the future of AI safety. Every AI coding tool, from ChatGPT to Claude to Copilot to Cursor, generates code that could contain subtle bugs, security vulnerabilities, or even malicious payloads. When people run that code directly on their machines, they are trusting a language model that has no understanding of security boundaries. Sandbox execution is the difference between AI helping you build something and AI breaking your system. As AI agents become more autonomous and start performing multi-step operations on your behalf, safe code execution is not optional. It is essential infrastructure. Every AI platform should be investing in sandboxed execution as a core safety feature, and this MicroPython plus WebAssembly approach provides a blueprint for how to do it right. If you enjoyed this deep dive into AI code sandboxing using MicroPython and WebAssembly, please subscribe to the channel for more tutorials on AI tools, safety practices, and practical development techniques. I publish deep dives every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday covering the most important topics in AI development. Hit the notification bell so you never miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.